Yo, what's going on, fellow A pluses? It's your boy Adam Perez. I'm back once again. We've got ourselves a brand new review as Daredevil Born Again is here, one of our most anticipated series this year. As Charlie Cox, Vincent D'Onofrio certainly return as Matt Murdock and the Kingpin. We've been counting down to the release of this particular series. I am sorry I'm a few days late with this. Finally got the opportunity to sit down in some peace and actually watch the first two episodes here. So I wanted to go ahead and give you guys my review. We will be reviewing the show on a weekly basis. I had some other stuff that I was trying to get into. The problem as to why I started this late, those of you who don't know, I went back to watch Daredevil season 3, and I had like 4 or 5 episodes left by the time Tuesday wind up dropping. So I really wanted to finish off Daredevil season 3 once again and get fully caught up before Daredevil Born Again wind up dropping. So I did get to the couple episodes late, but I should be much earlier with our reviews, certainly going forward, because we did get episodes 1 and 2, and then from here on out, I believe we get weekly episodes moving forward. So should be fun to certainly talk about this series with you guys. But look, at the end of the day, these are my A plus opinions. I always want to know yours. What did you guys think about the first two Daredevil episodes? What worked for you? What didn't? I definitely want to know in the comment section box below, or even the live chat as I'm talking about this. So let's go through this. I didn't write down any notes here for this week. I literally just finished wrapping episode number 2, so I do want to talk about them certainly as a whole. Um, First two episodes in, I'm hooked. I'm ready for this. I was a fan of both episodes. There is, with a new director and a showrunner on board, you can tell that there's certainly a new vision. There seems to be a lot more stock footage of New York kind of used in here. I don't know if it's because of the reporter BB Urich and her style, or if it's just the style of the director as well. It just feels like there's more New York. It feels very much grounded in the city. Not to say that the other ones weren't, but I feel much more on the ground, like I'm really living in New York or Manhattan or Queens or Hell's Kitchen sort of thing. So I do appreciate sort of that gritty urban vibe that the new showrunner and the directors have kind of brought on board here. I'm actually a really big fan of the lighting. I think the lighting really allows this series to kind of stand out and pop in various ways, unlike excuse me, unlike what we've kind of seen in some of the past Daredevil series. This is something different about the direction, the grittiness, and the lighting that we have in here so far. That makes it feel different and new, and it's a vibe that I can really become a part of. A couple things I do want to get out of the way. I feel like there may be two big elephants in the room that people really want to talk about. So let's go ahead and talk about them. Oops, look at that. I haven't recorded anything in a while. I completely forgot how to use my computer. Um, the death of Foggy in here. You know, for me, my expectations were already lowered in the sense of I had kind of already heard rumblings that Foggy was going to die. Um, I also remember when they first did this series, I don't believe the two actors were even involved. And then when they were brought back, I personally was never under the impression that they were going to stick around very long or have really prominent roles in here. And then, of course, combine that with the rumors of the passing of Foggy. I'm not surprised. It didn't take me out of the episode. I don't think that the show was ruined for me, but I gotta tell you, excuse me, after seeing them together for the first 5 minutes and the chemistry and the dialogue, even, Foggy flirting with the girl at the bar sort of thing. There was a part of me that was very nostalgic, like, yes, like this is so cool. The gang is back together, right? Like, I absolutely love seeing the friends drinking, having a good time, doing business sort of thing. So it did suck me in just like emotionally once again. So once Foggy does get shot, I'm there for the emotional roller coaster ride of what Karen's going through, the really cool sound of Foggy's heartbeat at times whenever Matt hears it, as he's battling Bullseye back and forth sort of thing. So the emotional journey of seeing and the really great death scene by the actor that plays Foggy Nelson in here really captivated me and hit me emotionally in a way that I did not expect it. I had my little boy kind of running in and out of the room while I'm trying to watch it. So I had to rewind it like two or three times to kind of go back to it. And every time that I did, it had an emotional impact on me. And I think too, the performance by the actress Deborah Ann Wall that plays Karen, perfect for that particular scene. Same thing with Matt with the just the wailing and the crying on top of the rooftop sort of thing, losing his best friend. I felt it. I felt it. And I thought in that moment it was a really impactful scene. Look, would I love to have Foggy back? Absolutely. I do hear rumors and reports that he might be coming back for a season two. Maybe it's a flashback sequences or whatever the case may be. Foggy's dead. I can tell you that much right now. I seen the body. All right. I seen the blood. I heard his heart stop beating. So if he does return, it's definitely going to be in some level of a flashback. But it didn't take me out of the episode whatsoever, or make me feel like the rest of this season is going to go downhill. I gotta be honest with you guys though. I was not the biggest fan of the Bullseye and Daredevil sequence. A couple things. One, I can understand people's dissatisfaction with the CGI in here. It's personally not as clean as I certainly would like, and I'm very much more of a practical guy. Like I don't mind watching Daredevil running across the rooftops. Give me a actor in parkour that can, run along the rooftop. Create like an actual long set piece that looks like a rooftop that if you want to track Daredevil running along top of a rooftop, create the set, build the set, have a long running track sort of thing. With somebody dressed up as Daredevil doing some parkour stuff. I would love to see that. I don't have problems of moments of him jumping off and slashing out and swinging sort of thing. But sometimes the CGI, it just looked a little janky. It looked a little unfinished at times. And look, I'm also all for long, quote unquote, one edited shots. But the idea of having the very first battle that you dive into, while I dig the concept of what they were trying to go for, the smoke, the haze, the CGI effects, all mixed in with the sort of unedited shot, it didn't work for me. It was a battle that was really hard to watch. The smoke itself wasn't even real. It was CGI animated, it felt like at times. Um, and it felt very green screeny to me with some at moments I'm sure real actors performing the action pieces, but then at times like you know s- um, computer generated characters and the movements in their bodies that sometimes just felt a little bit off. And so my thing is, I could see that same battle being played completely differently, um, without all the unnecessary smoke and haze and CGI effects sort of thing. I think you still could have captured the same essence of what you were trying to go for. But look, maybe some people just do quote unquote one long unedited shots just differently than other people. And here unfortunately it just did not work for me the way that I was certainly hoping that it would. For me, it really picks up when they get to the staircase. After they're both like on the second floor, and they're battling each other before they get to the rooftop. From that point to the rooftop, I was completely okay with. I really dug the lighting when they were on the rooftop for sure. Um, Really something fantastic about the night sort of New York landscape, along with the added lighting effects that kind of really worked for me. And I absolutely love the sequence when Matt just tosses the dude over. Like, what do I got to live for anymore? Like, my best friend literally just died, and just without a care of the world, just pushes the dude off the rooftop. Just sick. Absolutely love that sequence. How the man even freaking survived. I have no idea how Bullseye wound up surviving it, but um, it it wasn't the best sequence that I was hoping that it would be for that particular fight sequence, and the mixture of practical CGI, unnecessary green screen. It I just think it could have been executed a lot better than it certainly was. But from the emotional beats of that very first like 10 minutes of the show, first 5, 10 minutes of the show, emotionally everything was there. After that, the rest of the show is perfect for me. I really had no qualms or issues with anything else with this show. The chemistry, I think, if anything, get an opportunity to see Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio again as their characters in significantly different places in their lives really worked for me too. Just the scene in the cafe, I thought really kind of set the tone for what their relationship was certainly going to be like. um, get an opportunity to see that clearly after the events of Hawkeye, trying to recover from that headshot. How the man's even managed to survive it, I have no idea, but he is the freaking Kingpin, as almost as impenetrable as they come. But you do feel like the Kingpin is different, like his personality has changed in the sense, not to say that he's like a clean man now or anything like that, but he's been through some ish, and the way that Vincent is performing him, I really do like it. Not to say that he's lost a step, but it feels like he's lost a step a little bit, um, still trying to battle through some things himself. And so, really great to see both these characters back. I'm curious if Karen will pop back up in here. Clearly, a lot has happened. I did roll my eyes a little bit when Matt got on their case about just upping and leaving and stuff, because I'm just like, Matt, how many times have we seen you just completely abandon your friends when shit gets tough? You know what I'm saying? Like, um, but he clearly wanted somebody around while he was grieving for the loss of his friend. But it did make me chuckle in the hypocrisy that Matt was showing, in the sense of like, bro, you've never really been there for a lot of your friends, or like whenever you're going through things, you're always the one to sort of push people away yourself, right? But now you want the opposite to happen for you. So I didn't really feel too bad for Matt, to be quite frank with you, but I kind of wanted Karen to stick around a little bit. I don't mind the new supporting characters. If anything, I will say I'm still trying to get used to his new law partner. I'm so used to the idea of Matt like having nothing, but now he's actually part of a rich, I don't want to say a rich firm, but a growing firm with a good reputation. And he's got himself another partner that clearly trusts him. So it'll be interesting. I don't expect it to be um, Foggy and Matt relationship type, but I am interested to see how that relationship between him and his partner is going to grow. And I kind of think the idea that he's got somebody that can do investigative work that like knows who he is, that kind of really works for me. That somebody that knows his secret will trust him, especially when he has to make really difficult calls. In the former detective, now I think is an investigative detective for Matt Murdock and his firm. So some relationships I'm getting used to, but I do like his relationship with the investigator. Matt Murdock, just always the womanizer as he is. It almost feels like every season this guy's got a woman that he can certainly talk to. He's got a brand new one here. And what's fascinating to me here is that now she's a therapist, and I love the fact that episode 2 reveals that she's going to end up being the therapist for Kingpin and Vanessa. And that is not a coincidence. I can tell you that right now. Kingpin knows that this is very much Matt Murdock's tick. Okay, he's definitely been keeping eyes on Matt. He knows what Matt's certainly up to. Very much like Matt is trying to keep eyes and dibs on the Kingpin as well. So this is very much a cover for Kingpin. If anything goes south, he knows exactly who Matt is involved in, and wants to have a link between him in some capacity that he can eventually use at some particular point in time. So this is definitely not a coincidence. I'm pretty sure Kingpin knows exactly what he's doing here. Um, but other than that, I really enjoy the 2 episodes that we have. I kind of dig the law aspects of this, in the sense of like your court procedural. That's one aspect that I was kind of hoping that they would stick to. I don't know if this White Tiger incident is gonna take up the entirety of the season or not, but if we can get one or two of these procedurals and have Matt have to discover truths and investigate and see things that are connected to a bigger picture. I can kind of dig that if I can get one or two of these for the remainder of the season. I mean, then again, granted, we only have what, like 9 episodes in here, so we'll see how much of a chunk of this is going to take. If there is anything different, watching the show itself week to week now, I do find myself curious as to where is the show gonna go compared to when we wind up getting the Netflix series. It was very much just sort of, you can sit down and literally binge it and get a good idea or concept as to the direction of it. Right now, 2 episodes in, I'm not sure um, of the connective pieces, so I am kind of looking forward to coming back next week and watching what episode 3 is certainly going to give us. The action sequence towards the end of episode 2 I thought was really cool. The idea that, look, he's like got some I don't want to say cop killers, but he's got some dirty cops um looking after or trying to go after the one witness here, and the fact that Matt pleads with him like, please don't do this, and they still sort of attack this man. Like, I wonder how Matt gets out of this one, or the sense of like, um you know, what's the story that gets told here, that they got their ass beat by a blind man sort of thing, right? Like, did he call the cops? Are the cops now going to come in and realize like, hey, they attacked this lawyer, and this lawyer, even though he's blind, kicked this man's ass, kicked both these men's asses. Like, did they literally just give themselves up in the sense that like they're the guilty ones? Like, is the white tiger gonna walk free because clearly these are some dirty ass cops that wind up trying to kick the ass of this lawyer in here? So I am curious as to like, procedurally, how is this gonna work with this court case sort of thing. But um the action was intense, violent, especially the breaking of the man's arm and seeing the blood sort of seep through his shirt. Violent, hardcore. They're not pulling any punches whatsoever. We got to see that in the very first battle in episode 1, and then the final battle for episode number 2. But the performances really worked for me, man. It's really great to see Charlie Cox back at Matt Murdock, back in his zone. And to me, I am fascinated with the development of Vanessa and Kingpin. He says, "Don't, I know about Adam." I'm like, I didn't do anything, bro. But I love the fact that she's pleading like, please don't kill him. So I'm trying to figure out who Adam is. Is it her secret lover that we haven't been revealed to yet, sort of thing? Is this in reference to something else entirely? That I don't know, but I have a feeling it's certainly going to come to light at some point in time. But they do find themselves in a very interesting dynamic, and I got to tell you, man, I'm really loving the personality traits of Wilson Fisk here, as it feels like Vincent D'Onofrio is in his old bag, but giving us a different version of him after he's clearly been through some stuff, and that I can definitely get on board with. So again, visually it feels fresh to me. I love the way that this series is being shot so far. Some really interesting new side characters that probably have to grow on me a little bit more. I am curious as to the impact of BB Urich, considering the fact that she is the niece of Ben Urich from the Netflix series also. But a lot of moving pieces so far that I'm interested to see how it all kind of falls into place, man. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to how the rest of the season certainly goes. The Foggy thing doesn't really phase me. I mean, I'm sad, but it doesn't take me out of not enjoying the rest of this show. I do see the issues with the CGI. I think a lot of that stuff could have been done and handled a lot more practically if they just didn't have a problem with budget, or wanted to, do something like that, because it just felt a little bit cheap to me in regards to the fight scene. It's something I definitely wanted to see a lot clearer. All the fake smoke just didn't help at all. It felt very green screeny to me. So I hope going forward in the future battles, they improve upon them, especially with him in his Daredevil outfit. But yeah, so the first battle hit or miss for me, so I can understand people's issues with it, but definitely not enough for me to warrant this as a bad show. Only 2 episodes in. I'm in here for the long haul, and I think this series is just going to get better and better as each week passes. But look, at the end of the day, these are my A+ opinions. I want to know yours. What did you guys think about the first 2 episodes of Daredevil Born Again? We did get hints of Wilson Fisk, now that he's the mayor, talk about the idea of vigilantes, he does name drop, or not name drop, but he describes the Punisher, Spider-Man, and even Daredevil. There are elements of the Daredevil series I feel like we go really long, um, really, with the exception of season 2. Season 1, season 3, we don't see him in the costume. He's struggling mentally with the idea and faith-wise whether or not he should bring back the Daredevil. I'm gonna be Daredevil. I'm not gonna be Daredevil. I am a little bit over the idea of, are you Daredevil or you not Daredevil, right? Because we start episode 1. He hasn't been Daredevil for a while. Then he gets back into the suit. His friend dies. Now he doesn't want to be Daredevil anymore. When is he gonna bring Daredevil back, right? Like I would like some Daredevil consistency. But Matt clearly struggles with a lot of shit every season. So I'm hoping we see him back as Daredevil sooner in this season than later. But that would be my one concern. But look, guys, we'll see how it goes. These are my A+ opinions. I always want to know yours. Let your thoughts be known in the comment section box below. And until next time, do me a big favor. As always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and keep it A+. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.